All right, Planning Board. We are live. We are recording. Phone lines will remain off. Go for it.
Thank you, Matt. Welcome to the East Hampton Town Planning Board's February 25th, 2026 regular meeting and work session. We have no public hearings tonight. We have 3 items on for work session and about 5 or 6 items on for regular meeting and board of review. So this should be a pretty quick meeting. We're going to start with a sub-waiver at 9 South Ferncroft in Montauk. And that is going to be Aaron is going to take us through that project, and Lou is going to lead the board discussion on that. Is the applicant here? That's you, Tara. Okay, good. Aaron.
Okay, so a minor subdivision for 9 South Ferncroft in Montauk was submitted to create 2 new lots. It was previously reviewed by the planning board on December 17, 2025. To quickly review, there used to be a 1-story single-family residence before it was removed in 2023. The lot is currently 47,571 square feet and is to be split into one 20,000 square foot lot and another roughly 27,000 square foot lot. Previously, the board provided some comments for the applicant to answer. The first comment was the board agreed to assume the agency status for this project. During the previous application, the board did assume the agency status. It was forwarded to all involved agencies with no objections. No further action is needed, and will be talked about a little bit later. The second comment was the board agreed to waive the slope requirements for the driveways. According to town code, the maximum grade for driveways is not to exceed 12% based on the GIS resources, town GIS resources. Portions of the driveway are to be installed on slopes more than 12%. Town code gives the planning board the ability to vary the slope requirement. Given the nature of the steep slopes along the frontage of the lot, the board agreed to vary the slope provision of the code. No further action is needed by the applicant. The third comment was the board agreed that individual driveways are appropriate given the high slopes along the frontage of the lot and the requirement for an emergency turnaround if a common driveway is made a requirement. The board agreed the individual driveways are the most appropriate means of access on the proposed lot and no further action is needed. The fourth comment was the board agreed that the access easement is appropriate. The board consulting engineer recommended a road and drainage plan to be provided. The applicant provided such a plan on February 11th. It was reviewed by the engineer and no objections were found. The board should discuss whether they find the road and drainage plan adequate. The fifth comment was the board agreed the scenic easement area on the subject parcel should be required. Town code regarding open space design standards for the subdivision of land indicating the scenic easements along the public roads should be provided by the applicant encompassing a recommended 10%, though not required for the subject parcel. As the high slopes along the frontage of the lots, as there's high slopes along the frontage of the lots, it's important to protect these areas. And then the board made a requirement. The applicant submitted a revised plan, including proposed scenic easement encompassing the high slopes of the property. The easement is in line with the setback requirements of 10 feet. The planning department has no objections to the proposed scenic easement, and the board should discuss whether they feel this is adequate. The sixth comment was the board agreed to permit the small areas of 20% or greater slopes within the interior of the building envelope, as they are small in area and presumed not to be unnaturally occurring topography. The applicant previously amended their plans to remove as much of the building envelope as possible from areas of high slope. The board waived this requirement on town code, which is permitted. No further action is needed. The seventh was the board agreed it is necessary to require an urban renewal map modification as a condition of approval. As stated in the previous review, a UR map modification will be needed to be acquired from town board and will be made a condition of approval. We will work with the applicant. No further action is required. The eighth comment is the board felt they should discuss a code change to allow the planning board to have the ability to waiver an emergency driveway turnaround in cases where all appropriate stakeholders feel it serves no benefit. On December 17th, during that meeting, it was discussed that the planning board should have the ability to waive it where it serves no benefit. No further action is needed. As previously stated, the application was referred to the town engineer, who found the proposed driveway design for lot 2 and 1 acceptable, and they recommended engineering approval. The application is also referred to the fire marshal, who found the information submitted is sufficient is sufficient or not relevant to necessitate further review for fire protection purposes. The planning board agreed to conduct a review pursuant to SECRA. A coordination letter was sent to the Suffolk County Department of Health, who replied with a letter finding no objections to the board being the agency. The planning department prepared an environmental assessment form part 2 and 3, and following the review recommended a negative declaration pursuant to SECRA in chapter 128 of town code. It should be noted a small typo that did not impact the substance of the document was made. It was fixed, and that is a small change. In conclusion, the planning department recommends the planning board as lead agency make a negative declaration pursuant to SECRA in chapter 128 of town code. If they agree, no additional information is required for the easement, road drainage plan, or any other part. The application is complete and ready to be scheduled for public hearing.
Okay. The fire marshal still needs to weigh in, is that right?
He said there's enough information for it to necessitate. Review.
Got it. Okay. All right, great. Ms. Burke, would you like to be heard?
I don't have anything to add at this time.
Okay. All right, good. All right, well, let's Lou run us through the board's conversation. Lou?
Yeah, I think we're at the point now where we're ready for a public hearing. All the points have been satisfactorily met by the applicant. I believe that we should declare a negative declaration on SECRA. I think, the engineer gave his approval for the drainage plan and the road. The 2 driveways are fine, so I think we're ready to move to the next step and have a public hearing.
Okay, thanks, Lou. Does anybody else have an opinion or any other thoughts? Okay, so let's go to the questions. Does the board agree that the scenic easement is adequate?
Yes.
Yes.
That's all around, right? Unanimous? Yes. Okay. Does the board agree the road and drainage plan is adequate?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, unanimous on that. Is the minor subdivision application complete and ready to be scheduled for a public hearing?
Yes.
Okay. And does the board wish to make a negative declaration, noting, as Aaron said, that the short form EAF that was submitted and is online has a slight typo, which we have amended, so we're approving this as amended. Do we agree that we want to make a negative declaration?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's all around. Okay.
Thank you. Make the motion to adopt the next declaration.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
make a motion to adopt a negative.
Go ahead.
Second.
And seconded, all in favor of adopting?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, Tara.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
I said
You
thanks to
bet.
the wrong person.
Procedure. All right, Gardner's Marina, site plan modification wrap-up. Are you taking that for?
I'll handle it. Eric Shantz from the planning department.
Okay, great. And Lou, again, that is going to be you leading the board's discussion. And the applicant is here. Drew, that's you? Okay. Okay. All right. Eric, please.
So the board last reviewed this on December 3rd, 2025. This is a site plan modification to alter the facade decking and lower the first floor finished elevation by 1.5 feet for the proposed 2,392 square foot 2-story clubhouse building, which was previously approved by resolution of the planning board from November 2023. This would involve converting the proposed basement to a crawl space. Other modifications proposed are to relocate 4 proposed accessible parking spaces to align with walkways, 2 outdoor showers, and exterior HVAC equipment. 2 modifications from the approved site plans are existing changes, meaning already built. The boardwalk to the east and north of the existing boat slips was constructed slightly wider than the approved width, and the parking area is proposed to remain as gravel, where the previous approval indicated that asphalt would be paved. So from the time of the board's last review, you had a couple of comments for the applicants, the 2 specifically. The first was the board agreed to allow the planning department to review the application for completeness pursuant to the town code necessary elements of a site plan. The applicants have submitted all the requested revisions. The planning department has reviewed it and found everything acceptable. The second board comment was the board agreed to allow the planning department to review the application for compliance with the town code's general lighting and noise standards. Again, the applicants have submitted information pertaining to lighting and noise, and both are demonstrated to be compliant with the town code. So just one thing to note here as far as timeline and conditions of approval. The applicant submitted a letter requesting that the planning board move forward by issuing a resolution of approval, a modification, site plan modification resolution of approval prior to them getting an approved modified NRSP from the zoning board. You're allowed to do that under the town code, and you can just make that a condition of your modification approval if you choose to do so, which we have no objection to. The engineer has reviewed this and signed off by letter dated November 21st. The Office of Fire Prevention, the fire marshal, updated comments from the fire marshal are still pending at this time. The previous fire marshal findings dated November 21st signed off on the proposal for firefighting purposes, but detailed that the project was not compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. The planning department notes that it appears the appropriate revisions have been made to the proposed parking for ADA compliance. The planning department recommends that the planning board consider the application complete and ready for approval, pending approval from the fire marshal. So basically, we've reviewed the plans that were revised. It appears that they addressed everything that the fire marshal pointed out, but we don't have that in writing from the fire marshal yet. So basically, as conditions of approval and other approvals that would be needed, as I stated previously, the ZBA has to modify its approval of an NRSP, a Natural Resources Special Permit. An updated approval from the Architectural Review Board will be required, and we do still need a sign-off from the Office of Fire Prevention. So in conclusion, provided the board agrees, the application is ready for approval, pending approval from the fire marshal. And what we would do is seek to have the board agree or disagree whether or not the application is complete and otherwise ready for approval. And then provided the fire marshal does sign off on it, we'll just bring a resolution of approval to you at the next meeting.
Okay, thanks, Eric. Drew, do you want to be heard?
Drew Bennett here on behalf of the applicant. Mark Memberlin, owner, is here also. We have nothing new to present. We're just here to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, good, thank you. Lou?
Yeah, I don't have much to add. I think we're, ready to move forward on this with those 2 conditions, the ZBA approval of the NRSP and the fire marshal's approval. So I think we're ready to take the next step.
Okay, does anybody else have any comments? Okay. Always looking to extend a conversation. It seems to go too short. Right.
Things here, so.
All right, that being the case, I think this all looks like you've done everything we needed to. So we'll ask the question. Does the planning board agree the application is complete and ready for approval, pending approval from the fire marshal?
Yes.
Yes.
And the ZBA, do you need to add that?
Yeah, well, yes. So I think the other question would be, do we agree that we can, once we get the fire marshal's comments and are ready to hear the resolution, that we can do that before the ZBA
Just use
comes
the
back with the
NRSP.
NSRP.
Yeah. Okay.
Is everybody comfortable with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Hope you got what you wanted. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
Right.
you.
Okay. St. Michael's basement alteration site plan wrap up.
Sure. So that'll be me again, Eric Chance for the Planning Department. So just as a reminder, this is a site plan application to approve basement alterations made without site plan approval. The application is for alterations to the basement of the westernmost building, which contains the community center and manager's apartment. A former storage area was converted to living space as an addition to the existing manager's apartment. The alteration converted 469 square feet in the basement interior and built a 22 square foot exterior basement stairwell for additional access. So a public hearing was held on February 11th, 2026. No members of the public spoke at the hearing and no written letters have been received in the official file to date. The hearing was closed the same day that it was open. The fire marshal has signed off on the application by comments dated June 16th of last year. This is a type 2 action under SECRA, so no further review under SECRA is required. We listed the items to be approved in the memorandum, but basically in conclusion, if the board agrees, then the application is ready for approval. And we do have a resolution on for you this evening as well.
Okay, thanks, Eric. Just noting that there is not an applicant's representative here tonight, but that it does, we do not need to have one for this particular round of application. So Jen, that's you.
I have nothing to add. I think that they've done everything. We had the public hearing and I think it's ready for approval.
Okay. And just a big note of the fact, the conditions of approval will be the Suffolk County Department of Health Services approval, restricting the basement space to not be used as a separate unit, and that there will be no kitchen in the basement.
Yeah.
So with that, is the application ready for approval?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Lou?
Yes.
Okay.
We're all good, right? Unanimous? Ready for approval. So we can go right to the
Right to the resolution.
site plan approval resolution.
In the matter of the application of St. Michael's Basement Alteration Site Plan, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 300-172-2-9.4, Site Plan Approval, I've read the resolution and move for its approval or adoption.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Round.
All right.
Okay. Moving right along, we now have the scheduled public hearing resolution for JHA Main Street office site plan. And let's see, that would be Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need any explanation of the project. We just need to have you read the resolution, Lou.
In the matter of the application of JHA Main Street Office Site Plan, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 300-171-2-8. A public hearing is hereby scheduled to be held at Town Hall, 159 Pantego Road, East Hampton, on Wednesday, March 25th, 2026, at 6:30 p.m., or as soon thereafter as this matter may be heard to consider the said application. I have read the resolution and I move for its approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous all the way around. All right. Moving on to the McGarva Barn Site Plan Special Permit Modification Resolution for a public hearing. Jen, that would be you.
That is me. Public hearing notice. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held before the East Hampton Town Planning Board on March 25th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. What else do I read now? I've forgotten. Just okay.
That you've as soon thereafter, and then I've read it.
Okay. Oh, no, I didn't read any of that. Okay, the application is the McGarva Barn Site Plan Special Permit Modification. The size and location of the property, 222,615 square feet or 5.1 acres, located at 181 Middle Highway, East Hampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 300-118-163. I have read this and I move to schedule the public hearing. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous all the way around, nice and carried. And our next Item for discussion is the Sealer Zon lot line modification resolution for extension of time. And that is me. This is one from a ways back into 2019. In the matter of the application of Sealer Zon lot line modification, Suffolk County Tax Map 300-170-4-23.4 and 23.5, extension of time. I've read this resolution to extend retroactively 1 year increments or until May 1st, 2026. The necessity for a C of O, is that what I'm doing here? Yeah. Yeah, the applicant needs additional time to meet the conditions of our resolution in order that the map may be signed and has requested this extension of time till then, May 1st, 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passed and carried all around. And, okay, 531 Montauk EV Chargers Site Plan Modification Resolution of Approval. Read.
Okay, in the matter of the application of EV Chargers 531 Montauk Site Plan Approval, Suffolk County Tax Map 300-172-2-33.1. This is a resolution amending approval. I have read the resolution and I move for its adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, unanimous, passed and carried. And hard to believe, but finally, we have one board of review, which is at 33 Harborview Drive in Springs. This is lots 1 through 20, including parts of Travato Avenue and parts of Montgomery Avenue, Block 10, Map 121, Urban Renewal Map 23 and SP 6, and Suffolk County Tax Map 300-94-7.1.7-1.1. This is an undertaking that will be secured by a certified check or some other surety acceptable to the town board, made to the town board in the amount of $14,500. And these requirements will be subject to review 1 year from the date of this resolution or February 25th of 2027. I have read the urban renewal application form for old filed maps and call for its adoption.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's been carried. All right, well, let's look at the incredible minutes that Katie put together from last meeting. Are there any comments, changes?
No.
I do have one. I think Katie is listening. And that is the Springs Brewery site plan description of that discussion, which is item D. Gunnar Burke is actually the architect and the applicant. So if you could just make a note of that, Katie, that would be great. Otherwise, everything looks fine to me.
Excellent.
A motion to adopt
I'll make that motion.
Oh, you're going to make that motion? All right, you're going to
Second it.
jump right to it. Wow. All
Right
right.
in.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adopting the minutes?
Aye.
We're all good with that, unanimous. All right, there's only one more piece of business to be done tonight.
I make a motion to close the meeting, to adjourn.
Is there a second for that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.